Morning, grade 7s. This is 6.3. This lesson is less of a preemptive strike and more of a review. Here's good old Admiral Akbar to start us off. It's a trap. This is the area of a trapezoid. So when you see a trapezoid and you've completely forgotten, your mind's blank, you've got a test and it says find the area of the following trapezoid, and you have no idea what to do. Remember what we did with right angle triangles. We start off with our little right angle triangle, and imagine you've completely forgotten that as well. The technique for one of the things we did was we said, you know what, let's just double a right angle triangle. Let's double the shape and see if it becomes something more recognizable. And we're like, oh yeah, it's a square or it's a rectangle. And in this case, it's just the area of the whole shape is length times width. And then we're going to divide by 2 because there were 2 parts. Remember, we doubled it, so then we have to divide by 2 to find the area of the one piece. It's the exact same thing with a trapezoid. If you double the exact same trapezoid and then you shift it and put it next to the other one, you might see something that looks a little bit more familiar. And you've done this in class already, which is a parallelogram. So a parallelogram is a pretty straightforward formula. It's just base times height. What's really cool about this is when you've doubled the the trapezoid, here's your base, which is the entire green line. Base, in this case, what is it actually comprised of? And it's base 1, this one little piece here, and base 2. If you looked at it numerically, if you had a trapezoid like this, and you had a 2 on the top, and a 4 on the bottom, and then you said, I'm gonna double this, the first thing you do is you take the base 1, the long one, and you just draw it across the top, and you make it 4. And then you draw the short base 2 on the bottom, 2, and then you join them. It's a foolproof way of drawing your parallelogram or duplicating the trapezoid. So in this case, the formula for parallelogram is base times height, but because we only want half, which is the trapezoid we drew initially, we divide it by 2. And that's where the formula comes from. It's base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. And this is another way of looking at it here. Or you can say 1/2 of base 1 plus base 2 times height. Today we're going to be just reviewing one of the more difficult questions is where you already have the area, you just don't have the height. And so this is where algebra comes in so handy. And I'm broken into 4 steps. Step 1 is the formula. Step 2 is substitution. Step 3 is, but you can read. All right, so the first one, we do the formula. Area is base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. Now we substitute any given values. And what do we have? Our given values. We've got area, we have base 2, we have base 1. We just do not have that pesky height. So area, as stated on the left, is 104 centimeters squared. Base 1 and base 2, we can add them together. We multiply by h because we don't have a value for h, and we're going to divide by 2. So we're going to simplify. And if you're looking at this one and you're saying, well, where did the 26 come from? It's just simplification of the brackets. 15 plus 11 is 26. 26 times h. It's essentially saying how many h's do you have? Well, I have 26 h's. It's being divided by 2. That's what h is. H is being multiplied by 26, and it's being divided by 2. And remember that the key to algebra or isolating the variable is always just do the opposite, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by 2. And if you've forgotten why, ask yourself, if I do something to the left, I got to do it to the right. So when you multiply by 2 and you divide by 2, they cancel out. But what you're going to have over on the left-hand side is 208. 208 is equal to 26h. Right here, if you can want to ignore the divided by 26 for a second, 208 is equal to 26h. H is being multiplied by 26. To get rid of a multiplied by 26, you just divide by 26. And again, these two 26s are going to cancel out. And then when you finally do your final calculation on the left-hand side, you're going to get h, a value of 8. You can then do a step 5 if you want, which is to actually put it back into the formula. You could have 104 is equal to 15 plus 11 times 8 and divided by 2. And you should have at the end 104 equals to 104. I hope that helps, and have a great day.